Hi, it's William jumping here. So let's continue our modeling of a human head. And of course, we're going to use sculpting. So this result will be a high poly human head. So I think the most important thing for you to actually master sculpting is that to use the reference image, but not just copy and paste a reference image or just to use the reference image as background, but rather I think if you're practicing, it's a pretty good skill for you to just observe the image and just learn the image by heart. And while you're doing that by heart, and then you start sculpting, and then you observe that image, you actually see that image rather than just just browse through this image and just move the volume to that certain edges of the image. Okay, so do not copy exactly the image. Let me show you guys how this is done. Okay, so if you just search Google and using the image search, you can do all kinds of search you like. You can say search sculpt, and you can get a human sculpt. And of course, you might have a tendency of just modeling the outline of full flash character. But my personal favorite of teaching is that you need to know a little bit about anatomy and the bone structure of human, especially the head, because the head do not have a lot of muscle in it. Okay, the outline of the head is strongly connected to the skull, so you need to know the shape of it. I think this Encyclopedia Britannia is a pretty good example to get a front view and a side view. Okay, so you can observe it. So I think most important and outstanding feature about the skull is that if you look at sideways, it's not actually a circle, right? It's like a circle right here, but it got a cut here and it got a triangle shape at the lower right part of the skull. Okay, so if you look at this and look at our modeling, you can see that we got the default cube here. So we're going to kind of just pinch or grab that cube, and you just grab it down to get this shape and to fill all this vacuum here. But since you grab it, I think the blender will fill all this vacuum automatically and get this triangular shape. Okay, and once you observe that, you can just go back to your modeling process and try this out. Okay, so this is a kind of a pipeline and workflow of how you do modeling and how you actually learn it by heart. So next time you don't need to look at it, you don't even need to have a reference image, but you just start the modeling process because you already know that by heart. So let's hop back to Blender. So we have returned back to Blender, and of course we're at the sculpt mode, and the first thing I noticed that there's something missing, which is the axis. Okay, so you can just got here, I think here, right? Viewport overlay, we got axis X, Y, and Z, and the reason that it don't add any of the other things is that in sculpting mode you don't need to add anything else. Okay. Some people may think that say we got the floor here. It all depends on you. For me, I think the axis is enough for me to do the reference. Okay, you don't need the floor. And when I use the modeling mode, I use floor. And yeah, this is just you can even get the X and Y and Z axis to gone. It all depends on you. Okay. So the first thing is that we need to grab that out, because we're going to grab. I'm going to use this grab here. So very simple. And of course you can use the shortcut G, right? So fairly simple. And what I'm going to do is to this is front view. Okay, so let's just go. This is front view. Okay, so what I'm going to do is grab all this down a little bit, And a side view, you will see that if this is a front, I'm going to grab it like this way, a tiny bit. So, but clearly the grabbing size is a little bit small. If you just grab it, just get this. So I'm going to adjust the size. Okay, so I'm going to use F and increase this and grab it. Okay, so you guys can clearly see this deformation here, right? And of course, if you grab sideways like this, okay, you will clearly see that you got a bulged out. This is clearly not what we want. So I'm going to just get all this back. So the tip for you guys is that you grab inside, okay? So like get this inside, grab down and move it forward. All right, so let's just do it this way. Okay, so grab it down, but that's clearly too much, so I'm going to get it smaller, tiny bit, and grab it down. Okay, and F, got it down a little bit. All right, so if you don't know how much that you have gone, you can just go to side view, right? So clearly this got a vacuum here, so we need to grab this down as well. And remember, you can always remesh later on, so you don't need to worry about that. Okay, so grabbing down. Yeah, this is more like it, right? And if you think that, well, I think that maybe something off about this, you can always come back to this image. And the reason for me suggesting you not just import that into, because if you already watched my previous low poly person, you will notice that we just draw an image myself and import that in. But if you are doing a high poly character, my suggestion for you is that, at least while you learn, if you're on the tight schedule, just forget about that. You can import and quickly do that. But if you're just learning, if you want to improve or challenge yourself, if you want to learn all that by heart and level yourself higher to a level that you don't know, you don't need to know, or you don't need to use the reference image to create this. I'm aiming you to that level, because once you have already know how to do a standardized person modeling, and you can add characteristic, you can stylize it, right? And you can deform it, and this is great for your long-term career, long-term art process. This is just my opinion, okay? So let's just look at here. We got this skull and almost extrude out a little bit, and almost a line here, right? And this is triangle here, and all that got bulged back a little bit. So we are just dealing with side view now, so you don't need to focus too much on all kinds of things. You don't need to move around. Say right now you just go to front view and see that yeah, this is kind of off. You don't need to do that because a side view looks okay. Okay, once it's okay, you can just continue to do that, because you can fix side view later. For example, you can just go here and you can just grab it down, right? And it won't affect too much as long as you're not doing something drastic. And of course, you can get this a little smaller, right? You can just grab all this, fill all this out, because it's kind of a mirrored view. And for example, you can get this say fixed a tiny bit. Yeah, you can always do that later. You don't need to fix that. For now, just to focus on this, okay? just do all kinds of grabbing. Got all this down, and I think this need to extrude a bit. Extrude a bit, right? Get it down a little bit. And here is a triangle shape. We fix that a little bit, and this is a little bit sharp, so you can get inside a little bit. And of course, you can smooth everything out, right? And here is a smooth brush. Don't worry about the brush, because you can always fix and pick it up the brush later on, right? So if you think there's clearly some angles here, you can just use smooth brushes to smooth everything, and they can even get it bigger and just smooth, and everything's cool. Okay. And I need to grab that down a tiny bit. So using your grab and just make it smaller. Just grab it to feel this vacuum here, and of course you can use smooth, and there's a shortcut S here, right? And yeah, you can smooth it. And of course, I think I need to shrink this part a tiny bit. But if you are doing some heraldic man modeling and they got a square jaw, you can just leave it here. But yeah, this all depends on what kind of character that you want to model. And of course, all this shortcut of numpad still works. 1 for the front view, 3 for side view, right? And yeah, and you can just play around with it a little bit, and all the kind of grabbing out, get it bigger, grabbing, right, and just grab it in. I think grab is pretty useful, right? If you see this shadowy part, means that this part needs to be grabbed out as well, because it got a little kind of a shrink thing inside. Right? This is clearly too much. You can get it back in, and of course you can use all the smooth thing by holding Shift and S, smooth everything out. So this is an ongoing process. You don't need to be too precise, as long as you get this kind of shape right now, and you're good to go, right?